What's the most unexpected thing your kid ever pulled off? My 12-year-old son stood up at the league banquet in front of 200 people and asked the head coach if he could say a few words. My stomach dropped through the floor. Ethan barely spoke above a whisper at home. He'd never raised his hand in class his entire life. But there he was, walking toward the microphone with a manila folder tucked under his arm, while Coach Warren smiled like he was about to receive a touching tribute. I tried to catch Ethan's eye, to signal him to sit back down, but he wouldn't look at me. Coach Warren had run the youth baseball league for 11 years. Parents worshipped him. Kids fought to be on his team. He gave motivational speeches at school assemblies and organized charity tournaments that raised thousands for local families in need. When my ex-wife and I divorced 3 years ago, Coach Warren pulled Ethan aside and told him he'd always have a spot on the team no matter what. That meant everything to a quiet kid whose world was falling apart. I trusted this man completely with my son. The problems started slowly, so slowly I almost missed them. Ethan went from starting shortstop to riding the bench. Coach Warren said he needed to earn back his confidence after a bad game. Then Ethan got moved to right field during practice while newer kids took his position. I asked about it at a parent meeting. Coach Warren smiled and said some kids peaked early and maybe Ethan just wasn't competitive enough for travel ball anymore. Other parents nodded sympathetically. I believed him, but Ethan didn't quit. He practiced in our backyard every single night until dark. He watched game film on his tablet. He did everything Coach Warren asked and more. Nothing changed. His playing time kept shrinking while the sons of parents who donated the most kept starting. I complained once to another father who'd been around longer. He pulled me aside and whispered that Coach Warren had favorites, that the fundraiser money didn't always add up, that 3 families had already left quietly rather than make waves. I should have listened. Instead, I told myself it was just sour grapes from parents whose kids weren't talented enough. Everything changed at the championship game last month. Ethan finally got put in during the 9th inning with 2 outs. First pitch, he lined a double to left field. The crowd went crazy. Then Coach Warren pulled him for a pinch runner, his own nephew, who promptly got picked off to end the game. Ethan didn't cry. He just walked to the car in complete silence, pulled out his tablet, and started typing. I asked what he was doing. Finishing something, he said. I assumed he meant homework. I should have looked closer. Now Ethan stood at the microphone while Coach Warren beamed beside him. I want to thank Coach Warren, Ethan said, his voice somehow steady, for teaching me that adults don't always tell the truth. The room went quiet. Ethan opened his manila folder and pulled out a stack of papers. These are receipts from our fundraisers for the past 2 seasons. He held up another sheet. And these are the actual bank deposits Coach Warren made. I photographed them through his office window when he left the door open. The numbers didn't match. Not even close. Over $12,000 was missing. Ethan had spreadsheets, photos of receipts, screenshots of the league's public financial reports. He'd been building this case for 8 months without telling a single person. Coach Warren lunged for the folder. 2 fathers grabbed him before he reached my son. He's lying, Warren screamed. He's a disturbed kid from a broken home. Ethan didn't flinch. He just pulled out his phone and played a voice recording of Coach Warren telling another parent that Ethan would never start again unless I contributed more generously to the program. The room exploded. Parents started shouting. Someone called the police. Warren tried to run for the exit, but the crowd blocked every door. My quiet, shy, barely speaks above a whisper son had just dismantled an 11-year fraud in front of 200 witnesses with evidence he'd gathered completely alone. Coach Warren was arrested that night and charged with embezzlement and fraud, totaling $43,000 across 6 seasons. Ethan made the local news, though he refused every interview request. When I asked him why he never told me what he was doing, he just shrugged. You would have tried to handle it yourself, Dad. Adults always mess these things up.